What's going on, beautiful people? It is the Badwolf, your international man of mystery, the guy who tells you all the things they don't want you to know on YouTube and then some. So I use this platform over here just to talk a little gab, but if you guys want to know what I really do, check me out over on YouTube under James C Lovett or the @ symbol, the Badwolf. Find me over there. Now, I want to talk to you guys about what it's like for a man when we hear about what a woman wants versus what men actually want. Let's get going. So, from a male's perspective, now understand I was raised by a woman. Never really had a solid male masculine presence in my life. So, my mom raised the man that you see before you. God rest her soul and thank you very much. However, that doesn't mean that I'm not masculine, okay? I found my own and inspiration from other good male role models. But in that time, I learned how women move, think, act, all that other stuff. So I can kind of bridge the gap for you guys. So here's what men hear when a woman says what she wants in a man. Okay, here we go. So from our perspective, this is what we hear. So a woman goes, well, I want a man who is romantic. So basically she wants a woman, or she wants her man to be like Romeo. She wants the whole Romeo atmosphere in this man, okay? But she also then goes, I want him to be aggressive sexually, but I also don't want him to be overly, but I want him to know what I like. So you want a guy who's basically a player and knows his way around a woman, and you want him to kind of like feel your body and learn you, okay? Then she goes, but I also want a guy who's a thug, but I don't want him too thuggish, but I do want the fear. So you want a guy who basically is at night Freddy Krueger, and just all wild and out of his mind so that you can be thrilled. Then a woman also goes, but I also want him sensitive, so a little gay. But then I also want him to be intelligent, so a little bit of an Einstein. Ladies, that is damn near impossible. Okay? Now, one of the reasons why I've always been successful with ladies and I've been sought after is because I do have almost all of those traits. But that is a really hard thing to balance all in one person. And even then, still yet, a lot of you guys go, but I also want them to, like, when I don't really know how I'm feeling, and I don't know, I'm just funky because I'm bloated right now because I've got my period. And, I want him to know that even though I'm like angry and just for no reason, but I really love him, but I just, I want him to learn me and he should just know how I feel. That's called a mind reader. So you literally want a magician, the Incredible Hulk, Batman, the Joker, and all that all up in one. And even Jesus ain't even all of them, okay? You want something that is like the upper echelon of all of the thrilling and perfect perks a person can have. Most people don't have nearly all of those things. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you should settle, but understand that that's damn near impossible. You have to find somebody who's good at most of those things and help show him what you want. I'm not saying find a fixer-upper guy. No. He should be a grown man, not a full-size boy, okay? Now, what does a man want? Girls are like, well, you want a slave, and you want a sex toy, and you want us to cook. First of all, you should already know how to cook in general, okay? Or at least buy food, so that can go either way. Do we want a sex toy? No, but we want a woman who, when you want the D and our money and us to be a counselor, we want to be able to have access to the vajayjay. So really, we're supposed to submit to each other's sexual desires. There might be some times where we don't want it and you want it. We're like, well, let me just go and do this. Or there might be times when you're pregnant, okay? And to some men, that's very sexually unattractive. Or you're on your period and you want us to still smash anyway. That's kind of gross. But you ask us to do it anyway. So there are times where we don't want to do it. We don't want it. Or maybe you've put on a lot of weight. Now, I like a little weight, so you can't scare me. But some guys, they're like, oh, she put on like 20 pounds. Good. But do we show that? No. Yeah, baby, I love you. No, you don't. Yeah, you look fine. You didn't gain that much weight. Psh. And then we still hit it. Okay? So we're supposed to compromise with all these things. And what else? Oh, you got girls go, well, you want a maid. First of all, you should be able to clean up after yourself, and any normal grown man can and should clean up after himself. But if you want to do it, cool. No man should be forcing you to do it. You should want to do it. And yeah, you got to clean up your own nasty drawers. And trust me, ladies, I've seen the period panties and all the other stuff that comes out of there. Seen it, been there as a boy growing up with my parents, my mom and my sisters. Had to clean them, had to wash. I used to do all the washing, all that stuff, and I seen it. Okay? So you can clean up his skid mark drawers too. Just throw them in there. And then sometimes maybe have him fold or do whatever. Switch up. Okay? But when you guys are asking us to like pay this, fix your car, be ghetto, fight that guy because he talked to you disrespectful, even though you were probably the one who started it or whatever, or, you know, made eye contact with the guy and it's all weird now or whatever. I know how those things go. Okay? Those are the things that we're not your slaves to do either. I don't need to go out and get beat up because you looked at a guy and you made eye contact, flirted with him on the low real quick, and then turned away. Now he's coming over. Now I have to defend you. Okay? I shouldn't have to get my butt kicked if that was the case. I mean, it ain't going to happen with me, but I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying I'm Billy Badass, but no guy should have to deal with that. No guy should have to be like, well, I have to deal with, trying to figure out your mindset because women, you already know, you guys, when you're in your, you don't know how you feel mode, that little squirrely thing that goes on up there. I don't know how I feel. We should have to try to figure out what's going on with you. Speak your mind. You're grown. You're not an infant. Your mouth works for a reason. Use it. Okay? And as far as being like someone's sex doll or whatever else, a man should submit whenever his woman wants any part of him, physically, sexually. Go fix that. Pick that up. Go get the thing. Bring that in. Baby, it's too heavy. Can you do that? That's, to us, the same thing. But here's the thing. When we want to bond with you, and that's what sexuality means for us. So it's not just, yes, we do have that urge like a vampire inside of us that we want to smash, okay? That's just the thing. Genetically programmed. Chemicals kick off and we go, I want something. I want it now. Okay? So every day we're fighting that, and then the time we have, we want to share that with you. That helps us to bond. And that's one of the reasons why men don't want a woman to have had tons and tons of sexual partners, because the more partners a female has, which is different than a man, not in a comparative way, meaning a guy can smash tons of chicks, we won't feel anything unless we choose to bond. Females start trying to bond with every guy who smashes them, and then they get hurt and sad, and then they go into then I'm just not going to care. I'm just going to be smash all these dudes. But then you start to lose your ability to bond with the individual man that you say you like. That's why it gets harder. That's why you're less impressed by other guys, because you've had so many Ds. You've done everything else that unless somebody's something new and exciting, you're like, well, I've been there, I've done that, and you're only average. And I've had guys who were bigger. Ha ha ha. Well, that's why, because you're not bonding with somebody like the female normally does and should. Look at all the animals in nature. They bond with their partner for life, usually with just the one. Okay, but we're obviously a little bit more evolved than that. So what I'm trying to get to is that you guys want dang near something impossible, and the more you go out there trying to find all of that in every single guy, take your time to learn a guy as a friend before letting him smash or getting smashed. But hey, if you just want to go out there and smash the whole town, do your thing. It's you. It's you, Miss Lady. Go ahead and handle you. But just remember that might cost you in the future a good guy, because if he finds out about your history, he may not like that. The good guys don't like that. Only the Pookies and the Ray Rays, and those are the ones who don't settle down. They give you babies and STDs, and then you try to find a nice guy to settle down with, and then he doesn't want you, and then you hit the wall, and life will then super suck, because you've given all your best years to some bodies to catch bodies who didn't deserve it. So take your time, do it right, be smart, and if not, hey, take your chances and roll the dice. Talk to you later.